Going to call the meeting to order. A recording and or broadcast of this meeting is being made at the direction of the board, which may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. On the roll, Steve.
Here.
Brian.
Present.
Vladimir.
Here.
Shelley. Present. And I am here also. Can we get some students to help us lead the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please stand. Please remove all hats, place your right hand over the heart and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would any board members like to provide comment on the agenda? Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. On to closed session report. The board has considered the appeal of a parent complainant challenging the October 5th, 2023 written decision following her complaint under the Uniform Compliance Procedure AR 1312.3, alleging discrimination and bullying of her child, a student in the district. The grounds for parents challenging the complaint in this appeal are: 1, bias in the district's UCP decision; 2, lack of or refusal to provide a complete investigation and delay in investigation; 3, unlawful discrimination determination based on socioeconomic status, race, and disability. The parent timely appealed in writing to the board by disagreeing with the findings and written decision of the district's compliance officer in her UCP decision. The decision made findings and conclusions indicating largely that 1, the district did not discriminate against the student based on race, socioeconomic status, or disability, and 2, there was no bullying against the student. The board today in closed session read all the papers related to this matter. And at this time, we found the investigation and conclusions to be solid, but in an abundance of caution, we would like to direct district administration staff to engage an outside third-party neutral investigator to conduct a new investigation into parents' complaint allegations and to issue a written decision of findings and decision within 45 days, not counting school holidays or break, to the Board of Trustees and the parent, after which the parent may appeal any adverse outcome to the California Department of Education. The board's finding a decision or this direction, I don't think this actually has to be put in writing, right? So it's the direction.
I got the direction.
Awesome. So that is the closed session report. Superintendent's update.
Yes, a few things for you. Thank you to those of you who were able to attend, and thank you to our staff who were able to attend our new family TK kindergarten new family information night last week. At all 7 schools, we had a really great turnout, which is terrific. Bridget has been working diligently since that very next day, registering students for next school year, which is fantastic. We do have priority registration that closes January 12th. So we're trying to be mindful to be able to make some staffing decisions at that first point in time. So thank you. I know I heard from many principals that you guys were able to attend, and I know our principals love seeing you out there. Last week, Eric, Carrie, and I had the chance to meet with CAW Architect for a kickoff meeting. And we'll be talking with principals tomorrow to do some kind of back end work, but they'll be coming in December to our December meeting to give you an update on process and timeline. So we're really looking forward to getting that going. I feel very confident that we hired an excellent team to do that. Our block 8th graders are headed to Yosemite next week. So Egan went a couple weeks ago. Block is happening next week. I've been looking at the forecast. A little get a little rain, they might get a little snow, we'll see, but I know the block staff is excited, and I'm sure students will have an outstanding time regardless of the weather. Steve and I attended the digital well-being parent ed last week, and it was really outstanding. So we're looking to do kind of more events along that way, and I've been talking to Claire Griffin about how do we maybe memorialize some of this content in a podcast that we can send out to families, and they can access it maybe more when they need it, as opposed to they don't think they need it right now. And then just want to remind you that tomorrow we have a special meeting. So our meeting will start at 3:45 at Sacred Heart. We'll be meeting in the Emily, I'm not sure how I pronounce that, Avenue parking lot. I think you've got the map. But that will start 3:45 that time. Try to be mindful of traffic and what have you. So we'll start our meeting in that area and then walk into the school and have some time to look at the beautiful prefabricated kindergarten building. That is it for me. No school on Friday in observance of Veterans Day.
Great, thank you very much. On to our school presentation. We have Springer School.
Well, I'm just very, very excited to be here tonight and just being able to showcase this wonderful program that we have at Springer. It has been here for a couple of years, and Ms. Williams is going to give us kind of a historical timeline here. But I hope the audience wouldn't mind indulging me for a moment. Ms. Williams has been the backbone of this program for a number of years. You remember when I was hired, it was the fall about this time. Technically, I didn't start in January, but I started coming to things in November. And one of my first events at Springer was Ms. Williams hosting a school-wide event for the ambassadors. And to see her passion for this program, it is infectious. We are now up to almost 45 students in our program this year. And she has been carrying this on her back for the number of years and has just always listened to the children. What do they need? How can we make this better for them? And so if you wouldn't indulge me in just a little round of applause for So today we're just going to kind of go over it, and the students here, we have students who are current ambassadors and we have graduates here. So being able to share with you how they've taken these skills and applied it to as they've gone on in school. And when we introduce the LASD experience and we think about the wheel, I think the ambassador program just really encompasses what we're trying to do. And I'm just really, really excited. We now have 2 new members joining Ms. Williams. We have Ms. Tom tonight here with us. It's real too, but she's a little bit under the weather, so not able to make it tonight. So you're going to hear from all of us. Ms. Williams, I just kind of give us a little back history.
As a student leadership advisor for many years, I originally worked with that traditional student council model in which a small group of students was elected to serve as student council members. And this discouraged many students that were eager to support our school community. To give more students a leadership opportunity, the process was changed. Students now complete applications and participate in interviews with the advisors for a position as a student ambassador. In these interviews, they express their ideas and commitment to our community. What started as a group of about 20 has now grown to over 40 students. Originally, we often had fundraisers for things that were important to us, like fire victims and countries dealing with drought. Another way we have evolved, especially since COVID as an organization, is to focus on more tangible ways we can benefit the community. It's important to us that students know that they can have a direct impact through service and leadership at Springer and in our community.
Yes, they're going to speak in just 1 second. So we kicked off this school year by having the Project Cornerstone Expect Respect come out to do that presentation. And traditionally that is a group of 15 to 20 students. So we contacted Project Cornerstone and asked if possible, can we have all 45 kids come? It was a great day. Obviously we had 3 teachers in the room to help facilitate, but I love what came out of that presentation is what is working well. And if you go through this long list here, you can just see and feel what the children feel about this program. They help feel it creates a safe school environment, that our school is welcoming to all. Really recognize, we have free food for those who need it. I mean, I love the feedback that we got from this of what they feel about our school, what is working well. And they also gave us some next steps too, in just increasing awareness around bullying. And I love the second bullet, develop a feeling of ownership and care for our school. I mean, that just resonates with me, and we're really feeling that. We are just very mindful about trash and the cleanliness of the bathrooms, and this is, you know, just something that the students really were passionate about. We've got some next steps on the way that we've kind of been working on, and it's just been a wonderful start to the year. But I'd love for you to hear from the students and their experience. Jean, you want to go first, or Ashley? Ashley, please.
Hello, adding on to Miss Williams, the Springer Student Ambassador is an organization that helps teachers plan spirit days and charity events. They run morning meetings and Run for Your Life and Kinder Support. They are the leaders of the school and set examples for other grades. We meet once a week during lunchtime. Now that you know a little bit about the Ambassador program, let's move on. The Student Ambassador program has many learning benefits for the 5th and 6th graders. One example, students practice public speaking or by leading various announcements or doing the pledge in front of the whole school. For me, every time I speak in front of the school, I feel more confident. In doing this, students build their public speaking skills, which helps them throughout their life. Public speaking is an awesome skill to develop when you are young. Additionally, the ambassadors practice responsibility and leadership through the program too. Each week, a student has a specific job, like helping out a parent volunteer, managing the Run for Your Life event, or going to the kindergarten playground and helping out the TK and kindergarten aides. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Arjun Nair, and I am a 6th grader at Springer, and this is my 2nd year in the Ambassador program. So being a part of the Ambassador program has been an amazing experience for me. The program provides a safe and inclusive environment all throughout the year. It's a platform where you can share your ideas and then turn them into a reality. Recently, one of our ambassadors came up with the idea of bringing back the haunted garden to Springer. When I heard this idea, I loved it and approached Ms. Callett about it. She gave us funding to buy decorations, and we made it happen almost entirely student-run. Ambassadors is a community where you can voice your opinions and then make a difference. At the beginning of the program in mid-September, we had the 2.5-hour Expect Respect workshop on bullying and how to support kids and then prevent bullying in our school. This training has helped us make our campus an even more safe and welcoming place. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jay Nair. I'm an 8th grader at Block, and I was an ambassador in my 5th and 6th grade years. The ambassador program is a program which I felt safe and comfortable sharing my ideas with others. It allowed you to gain leadership skills and apply these learned skills to your classroom setting and your community. And I still use these skills today. Our spirit days have also been a lot of fun. We had days like Wear Your Cultural Clothes or Sports Clothing Day that promote the idea that everyone can be different and that's perfectly okay. Another example of an impactful school-wide project that we put on was Kindness Week. This challenged students to perform random acts of kindness for their teachers and fellow classmates. This helped improve the already inclusive Springer environment to be even more welcoming. When you step onto the Springer campus, you feel like you belong, and the diversity and support you are met with make coming to school every day a lot easier. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Liam Jones. I am currently in the 6th grade at Springer Elementary, and I have been lucky enough to be a part of the Student Ambassadors program for 2 years. This experience has been amazing because of the teachers and students that support our school and love to help others. 15 minutes every Tuesday at lunch is a perfect opportunity to help the school, build a better connection with others, and shape me into the kind of person that teaches others and other students' needs. I love this program because I can be with my friends and still help the community. I enjoy the ambassadors program because it teaches me and others how to be better people in the world. Simple acts like recycling plastic bottles or returning lost clothing is what this program is all about. Every time I go to a meeting, I like the fact that we are all prepared to go out and use these skills in our daily life to make the world a better place. Another amazing part of being an ambassador is going to the kindergarten playground and teaching them how to play different games. It makes me feel good to be a role model for the younger kids. Just yesterday, at the end of the school district flag football tournament, my friends and I spent an extra 15 minutes cleaning up the Mountain View High School football field. No one asked us to, but as we learned in the ambassadors program, no one has to. It's just the right thing to do, and an extra 5 minutes to put the Gatorade bottles in the recycling bin. The field was cleaned up, the environment was better off, and we had fun. The ambassadors program is a great place to have fun with your current friends, meet new ones, and have a positive impact on our school, our community, and our environment. Thank you and have a good evening.
Good evening, my name is Frankie Jones, and I'm a freshman at St. Francis High School. As a former ambassador at Springer School, I learned many life skills that have carried me through my career at Block Intermediate School and now as a St. Francis Lancer. The passion to help others, the courage to try new adventures, and many leadership skills that have molded me into the young woman I am today. Springer Ambassador fostered my courage to explore new communities and to not be afraid to make new friends and step up to try new things. Through my time at Block and my future at St. Francis, I have made so many new friends when I put myself out there and tried out for new clubs or sports that I hadn't known before. The confidence I found as an ambassador has helped me build friendships that will be with me for a long, long time. During my time with the Student Ambassador Program, I grew a passion for helping others in need. We did projects like We Walk for Water and collect food for those in need, as well as participated in Springer Gives Back. The wonderful feeling of helping others led me to become a member of the National Charity League. This charity group is a group of mothers and daughters that give back to those in need. Whether it is collecting socks for the homeless or making blankets for animal shelters, they are always finding ways to volunteer in our community. I even started a Socktober campaign at Springer that we collected for two homeless shelters in our community. In the last 3 years, we have collected over 1,000 pairs of socks for Hope's Corner and Life Moves. This desire to help others was developed through the many projects at Springer. The Ambassador Program also taught me how to be a leader. Whether if it was saying the pledge at morning assembly, herding kindergartners at recess, or giving a talk over Zoom to new kinder parents, the skills I gained from my experiences were vital to my success during my 2-year tenure as the president of the Junior Scholarship Federation at Block. As a chosen member of CJSF, I was the president of the events committee and coordinated the time, place, date, budget, and activities for our functions. I worked with a team of smart, independent young adults, and without the leadership skills that I had gained from the student ambassadors, I would never have been able to lead such a successful chapter. Courage, passion, leadership. These are just some of the benefits of participating in the Ambassador Program at Springer. My experiences in the program have influenced being beyond my academic career and have laid a solid foundation for my future. Thank you and good evening.
Hi everyone. So I'm going to be touching upon the LASD wheel. So this year, all teachers at all schools are focused on the LASD wheel. We've come to know the wheel as a way to describe and bring life to the student experience in LASD. According to the wheel, the student experience can be broken down to these 5 sections.
All these sectors are designed to help students thrive academically, socially, and emotionally in Los Altos School District.
Well, that being said, we're not here to teach you about the wheel specifically, but to bring light to how our Springer Ambassador Program supports the student experience and therefore supports the LASD wheel.
So positive development relationships. I've watched how this program has fostered positive development relationships, not only amongst the ambassadors themselves, but between teachers and students as well. These relationships thrive because our ambassadors feel empowered and trusted by the adults on campus.
the second sector, which is environments filled with safety and belonging. Additionally, this program promotes that sense of safety and belonging. It's a safe space for those who strive to do more for their teachers and for their campus and are looking for a place to feel like they belong and work with other like-minded students. But not only that, our ambassadors are the ones fostering that amongst their peers as well within their student community.
And then the rich learning experiences. Through these learning experiences, our Springer ambassadors can learn and grow not only from the experiences that we facilitate, such as the food drive, but also the experiences that they create for themselves and other students on campus. As a result, our ambassadors are learning how to become adaptable, empathetic, and resilient leaders, which leads to our next point.
Which is about development of skills, mindsets, and habits. So the heart of this program, the Springer Ambassador Program, really lies in the development of essential skills, mindsets, and habits for our ambassadors. These can encompass communication skills, critical thinking, innovation, problem solving, emotional intelligence, adaptability. I think Frankie was also talking about like passion and courage as well. I could talk endlessly about the growth that occurs for our students within this program, but I hope that you saw here today with our 5 Springer ambassadors what is evident in our program.
Letting us showcase this wonderful program that just makes Springer a wonderful place for everyone. Thank you to my students for speaking so well and the teachers. Thank you. If you have any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
No, that was very inspiring. Thank you.
It was. Our future is very bright with these students. When you turn 18, you think about the school board, whatever. You can think higher too. It's always a good start.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome to head home and do all your work.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
So cute, right?
I know. Yeah. And Claire Griffin.
All right, moving on to the consent calendar. Any board members like to provide comment on the consent calendar?
Can I make one note?
Yes.
Here, you may or may not have noticed under, board policy maintenance, 3C, professional standards, somebody had highlighted the section last time around, professional dress.
Yes.
So we actually had a little internal discussion and for right now removed that section.
Good.
Yes, but anyway, everything else reads as written, but that has been struck.
Awesome. So can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Moving on to employee requests to address the board. We do not have LATA or CSEA here to address the board, so we're moving on to community comments. I'll read it out, even though we don't have any community here. To provide public comment on agenda items, speaker cards are to be submitted to the superintendent. Speaker cards will not be accepted once the comment begins. Your name will be announced when it's your turn to speak. The time is reserved for members of the public and employees to address the board on items that are not on the agenda. The board is not permitted to discuss or take action on non-agenda items except to instruct the superintendent to review the matter, further report back to the board at a subsequent meeting, or place the matter on a future agenda. The board may make a brief comment or ask clarifying questions. No one here for that, so on to action discussion items. Expanded learning opportunity childcare agreement.
Yeah, sure. This is the first full year where the district has participated in the state mandated ELOC program. And we do receive some ongoing funding for this. We have Right at School providing some services for us at some of our schools and did some work for us this summer. This is an opportunity for us to expand our ELOC program and to the other providers that are already currently serving our families on our campuses. So tonight we're asking the board to approve some ELOC childcare agreements with Champions, Children's House, and the YMCA for Covington, Garden, Loyola, and Oak.
All right. Do you guys have any questions or comments for Eric on these? No? Can I get a motion to approve these agreements with Champions, KCE Champions, Children's House and YMCA?
So moved.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Moving on to whatever's in a second. Consideration of approval of amendment to joint use agreements.
Sure. So currently Champions have childcare facility here at Covington. And last winter, we were informed that Stepping Stones was gonna give up the lease on a portable that we have access directly behind us. And so they vacated the premises in June. Over the summer, we started having discussions with other childcare providers, and Champions felt like they could make us an offer. And so we worked with them the last couple of weeks, worked with legal counsel to get an agreement together. So we're very excited to have an agreement at Champions, and Champions will be able to expand some of their offerings to our families. Covington is one of our largest elementary schools. So we feel this is the perfect opportunity for them, one, for the district to have some extra lease revenue, but it's really to provide great services to our families. So tonight, we're asking the board to consider approving an amendment to the joint use agreement for Champions at Covington to lease some additional space here from the district.
All right, and any board members have any questions or comments on this agreement? No? All right, can I get a motion to approve the amendment to the joint use agreement with KCE Champions?
So moved.
Well, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's 5-0. Oak School Building Report Project Contract. Eric again.
Yes. Last March, it was very unfortunate during we had a tremendous amount of large winter storms, and a tree fell on top of one of the classroom buildings at Oak School. And we felt it was pretty important to make sure that the repair is done correctly and followed the Division of State Architect building guidelines. So we reached out to an architect. We had the building designed, and unfortunately, the Division of State Architect takes a very long time to review the buildings. We were pestering them constantly during the summer and spring and fall. We finally received approval of the drawings, and we bid the project out. We had 5 bidders actually attend the pre-bid walk, and 3 bidders submitted bids. We did a post-bid interview with Ron Paris Construction. His bid was responsive and responsible. And so we felt it was appropriate to award a contract. So tonight, we're asking the board to approve a contract with Ron Paris Construction for the Oak School Building Repair Project for time and materials not to exceed $189,930.50, and authorize staff to issue change orders as necessary pursuant to Public Contract Code 20118.4. So the approval action item.
All right, any board questions or comments? And I just wanna, I know the answer to this, but what is paying for this construction or
The
repair?
district has very robust property and liability coverage, so we will have to pay a $10,000 deductible, but our insurance company, we pool our insurance with other school districts. We're part of it's called South Bay Insurance Group, and they will be paying for the entire repair minus the deductible. That will include all inspection services, DSA fees, and architectural fees as well. And then some of the cleanup from the tree removal and things like that happened last spring. So we're keeping track of everything. It's a pretty large claim, but that's why the district has insurance.
Yes. And that classroom is not in use currently, correct?
Correct.
All right, I just want to double check on that. All right.
I have an irrelevant question. Was it an oak tree that fell on?
Oh, my God.
It was a redwood tree.
I think it was a redwood tree. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Yes. I'll second.
I think I actually have to make the motion.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to approve the Oak School building report project contract with Ron Paris Construction?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Moving on to contract for inspector of record for Oak School repair project.
Sure. So as part of the DSA approval is you have to have a DSA certified inspector be on site to, watch all the repairs happening and make sure it's done to TSA specification. And most homeowners, when you, have your home constructed or you're doing a remodeling, the inspector will come out every couple weeks to see a progress. Well, the Division of State Architect requires continuous inspection, so they'll inspect the framing and they'll inspect the roofing, and then before they're allowed the project to proceed. So, that's a great, a testament to how well schools are built and how safe they are for our kids. So, but part of the process is the district has to be the one to hire the inspector because they're working for the districts on behalf of DSA. So nobody else can be hiring an inspector, it'd be a conflict of interest. So tonight we're asking the board to approve a contract with RPH and Associates. Ron Heinzel is the inspector of record. He's issued a proposal that's very fair and reasonable for $10,000. The timing of the project is, we hope it's gonna be done in about 2 months. Some of the items might take a little bit longer. Some of the light fixtures might be hard to get. So that might delay the project a little bit, but his proposal should cover that. So we're asking the board to approve a contract with Ron Heitzel and RPH Associates for $10,000.
Any comments or questions for Eric on this? Can I get a motion to approve the contract with RPH and Associates?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes 5-0. Onto the agreement with the city of Los Altos for junior high school after-school sports program.
So this is a longstanding agreement the district has had with the city of Los Altos, and they actually help run the after-school sports programs for Egan and Block Middle Schools. And they're great partners to the district. We have a great relationship with the city of Los Altos. And they actually run the league. They hire the coaches, the athletic directors. The only commitment really the district has to do is actually pay for half the cost of the referees, which is a very fair deal. They take a lot of the headache off our school site administration teams to not have to deal with the money of the programs. My one daughter did some after school sports at her middle schools. And it was nice to see all the middle schools in the different districts work together to run track meets and basketball games. So it's a really neat program for kids. And it gives a lot of our kids some competitive athletics before they move on to high school. So we think it's a great partnership. And so tonight, we're just asking the board to renew the memorandum of understanding agreement with the city of Los Altos.
Any questions or comments for Eric on this? Oh, you guys are really talkative tonight. Can I get a motion to approve the agreement with the city of Los Altos for junior high school after-school sports program?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes 5-0. On to establish a date of annual board organizational meeting.
All right, as you all know, we are required to establish the annual organizational meeting, and we are recommending our next board meeting, December 4th, as the date where we will do a changing of the guard.
Does anybody have any questions or comments on this? All right, can I get a motion to approve December 4th, 2023 as the date of our annual organizational meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on, and sorry, passes 5-0. Moving on to board and administration. Eric.
I do have two things.
Ooh,
Exciting. First thing is, just want to really acknowledge all the hardworking, staff at all the schools. We've been having some, meetings at the school sites to talk about facilities and future master planning. The business offices, acknowledge them. They've been working really hard. We're working on first interim and getting everything finalized for that. And then great news, last July, we submitted an application for a CalShape program, which I talked about. And through the California Energy Commission, we actually are going to receive a $1,079,000 grant from CalShape. Yeah,
we got money.
yes, and then the grant will allow the district, we will go out to, we'll have to hire a design build entity, so we'll be bringing a contract to the board in a couple of weeks. Hopefully by January. We'll have to hire a vendor that will actually come out and they will do an assessment of all of our HVAC units across the district. They will change the filters, they'll put new monitoring devices in. It's all part of this grant. So the good news about this is that we can schedule it during the summer, which we pay a lot of outside contractors to do that work. This will help defray some of our maintenance costs that we're spending money on. So it's a great grant. It's through the Energy Commission. They will give us half the money up front. We will hire the vendor, and then we'll get the second half of the allocation once the vendor will have to submit some metrics and things back to the Energy Commission. But we felt it was a great opportunity for free assessment of HVAC. And it works really well and kind of weaves well with our master planning process. Is we'll get another outside person that will work on the HVAC units, look at them, have another set of eyes on it, along with our architect and their consultants. And so it's a great program. A lot of school districts are taking up on it. Some of them there's some plumbing repairs. And anytime you pay your energy bills, which we all love to give when we get our bills every month, there's a little bit of money on the bottom of your bills, and that's how a lot of these programs are funded, through your PG&E and utility bills. So, and the Energy Commission is the one that manages this program. So you'll hear more about this as we move on. The idea would get a contractor on board sometime early spring, and then we would schedule work most likely during the summertime. Yeah,
Thank
call it
you.
Cal Shade.
Sandra, anything more? Charlie?
Yeah, so like all of you, it's been a very busy October, so I've been to a bunch of events, but the two things that I wanted to pull out is that I went to New Family Night at Almond, and it was wonderful. And the reason I wanted to pull it out is I wanted to give a special shout out to Principal Mataroli. She was wonderful. She had great slides, but she did not read off her slides, but she did, what I thought was wonderful is that she really painted a picture for the families of what, again, we've got like the portrait of a learner and the wheel, but what does that really look like at Almond? Like, how does that really translate? And so I thought she was really able to paint a beautiful picture of what life at Almond is like. So kudos to her. That was really wonderful. The other thing is I got, because of Sandra, a little peek into our inclusive playground that's being built over here at Covington. And I thought it was wonderful. And I think that I'm so proud of us that we're doing this. And I'm just gonna put it out there. I would love to see one at each of our elementary campuses, but I'm really, really happy to see this beautiful inclusive playground. So can't wait to see the kids playing.
Right here.
As you, Shally, Brian too?
Yes.
I went to this Santa Clara County School Board, so what's that?
Sat next to him.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right. Brian was in it.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, it was a very interesting, meeting because there was a panel on sustainability.
Yes.
And we had great speakers, organization by none other than our current board president. But the thing that struck me was there were 7 panelists, 6 of whom were women, girls, and 1 of whom was a guy. And all the girls were articulate and had something to say and knew how to say it. And not so much the other members of the panel. And I thought that was really interesting. And then I went to Gardner Bullis New Family Night, and again, there was a graduate of Gardner Bullis who is at Mountain View High School or something like that. And it turns out, well, she spoke very well.
Yeah.
And she's like valedictorian and has all these wonderful awards. And I thought that was really great that she came from probably the best school in the district, Gardner Bullis.
Wow.
Yeah.
After all making up.
And then, of course, we're going to Sacred Heart for a walkthrough later on. And that's it. Sorry, Brian.
You're not very memorable, Brian.
Apparently it wouldn't be listened to even if I didn't have something. No, nothing further. Santa Rita's New Family Night was great.
All right, Steve.
Just two little things.
Okay.
Someone's missing. Do you want to?
Oh, yeah. You should bring that thing.
Why that person's missing.
Dr. Bosco is currently in Taipei, Taiwan, although I think today they were taking a high-speed train to another part of Taiwan. But I talked or chatted with her today. They've already visited two very interesting, very different school systems and are off to another region of Taiwan, I guess today, which is our tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whatever, they're well ahead of us. And doing an educational tour. She's with about 40 or so superintendents, assistant superintendents from around our country visiting. And eventually, we hope to get some visitors to come our way.
How did this opportunity come along?
That's a great question. Do you know the answer to that? No, we were invited. Yes, I don't. That's why I asked. I know, I was like, I should know this. The educational department of Taiwan is, I think, has a long-standing relationship with the United States and bringing people over in a back and forth experience to learn about what's happening in schools.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
very cool.
And did we have to pay for this trip?
No, this is all
Can I go?
covered by the
Are you superintendent or?
Department of Education or whatever they might call that in Taiwan.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. All right.
But Steve had a second.
Yeah.
Obviously, we paid
That-
attention.
Oh, I was going to, I knew he had a second thing, but I wanted to pull that thread as far as.
Thank
I just want to let you know that, you've probably heard rumors about what's going on with Chat and
yeah.
how that's moving forward. And they are continuing to look forward to new models of operation and how that might. And so the board has met on several different processes, talking different approaches. Does a JPA exist post? Not certain whether it's even necessary or whether it does. And I'm trying to keep you guys as up to date as it is, but it has moved, is progressing. The good news is financially, they're probably in decent shape again, because most of the JPA members step forward and prepaid versus held back money. So they help between the curtailing of services and some things that were very expensive, had a lot of overhead and not much revenue. And the JPA is prepaying the bulk of their expenses for the year. They're in a financially stable space at the moment. They did get a grant from the county for $1 million that will be paid out in the next 2 years. That came through. And another sort of source of like $650,000 roughly is possibly coming from the IRS through it was the COVID payment. Things are going on. Yeah.
The payment protection program.
Yeah, that. So they're possibly that is still in motion, but it seems moving forward too. So just want to give that little snapshot that it is moving forward. There's going to be some outreach about JPA future, most likely from the standard. But we'll hear about it as well. So which might be fun.
Yeah, thank you for taking those meetings.
Can I just ask as a future agenda topic that when you know more about what's happening at Check, I'd like them to come and present and tell us what's happening at I just want to know how it's going to impact our kids and the program.
Definitely, well, things are going to impact, unfortunately, that have nothing to do with check itself. There was a bill passed that said healthcare providers had to have a minimum salary, and for counselors who we currently are not paying anything to, we now will have to pay somewhere between $20 and $25 an hour. That'll impact the districts and the direct, so they're still figuring the impact of that. There was bills passed around funding and different funding models, and that we don't get money directly. So trying to make check recipient of those funds or capable of receiving those funds, or is one of the things that in motion here. So there's a lot of things kind of trying to work their way through. The good news is the team that's been running it stepped in over the last year has done a great job of floating those conversations and making them move forward. So I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. it's been a while since we met, so I've definitely been busy. I went to Covington, Springer, and Loyola's walkathon. Went to Santa Rita's, which is Delight, which was for first time in a long time, the very same day as our walkathons. Went to the teacher recognition ceremony, had this SEC SBA fall dinner. I helped the art docents at Halloween downtown. That was a lot of fun. Had the LAMV PTA council and did the Covington New Family Info Night. That was a great presentation. Also, he had 8, like 6th graders, speaking on the different aspects. And I think it was actually responsive to the wheel too. It was pretty awesome. And it was a pretty full house. It was good to see, it seemed very post-COVID-ish.
Great.
Or pre-COVID-ish, I guess. So it was glad, and they had lots of good questions, one of them being a TK, because Covington is currently the only school without a TK. Without a TK. And we said just enroll early and often. I said early, just early, I swear. And that is it. Meeting adjourned.